Do you think English examination O-levels is hard? Are you finding it difficult to get good grades on your writing, even though you're probably answering everything and you're hoping that you're going to get a good grade, but ultimately the marker or the teacher is not giving you the marks you hoped for? Then this video might help you out. In this video, I'm going to talk about general O-level English examination tips, writing tips and writing topics, how you can prepare yourself before the examination, and how you can prepare yourself before writing the actual body of the essay or the letters or whatever comprehension related answers you are supposed to write in your examinations. Now, there are different boards of examination like Edexcel, Cambridge, or AQA. A lot of different exam boards offer a lot of different syllabus for your O-level English examinations. Now, in general, I'm going to be discussing something that could benefit the candidates of all the boards. So I hope you stick to the end. Let's get started with number 1, comprehension related questions. Now, this is something you already know, that in examinations, you are likely to be provided with 2 comprehensions, and those 2 comprehensions could focus on a single topic but would be different in its narrative or in its style of writing, fiction, non-fiction. It could be anything, but the topic of both of the comprehensions would be very similar. So what you are expected to do is you are supposed to read both of the comprehensions and then answer the questions later. Now, students, such a lot of you, find it difficult in terms of time management because there are a lot of different types of varying nature of these comprehensions. Some are narrative, some are non-narrative, some are directly speaking to you as if you're the reader, and some are very discreetly non-fiction. And so all of these different types of literature might confuse the student, and so they struggle with managing the time. And I'll also share something with you that as a student myself, when I was giving my O-levels, I used to find English difficult as well, because the main problem I faced was reading it effectively. And by effectively, I mean that whenever you're reading the comprehension, you are storing every important dialect and every important information in your head, so that whenever you're asked to write a summary or a limited word count version of the whole text, you may recall all the events and all the things that are necessary. To ace this paper, what's important is you practice and get yourself as much exposure as you can in terms of comprehension and in terms of various different types of question, so that whenever you sit in the examination or your mock test, whenever you read the comprehension, you find different types of new words, you can actually understand the meaning of the word in terms of the context of the comprehension, and then you can actually understand what the question is actually demanding from you. So don't waste any time, just get as much question paper you can get from the past years and start solving them. You may read them in your spare time, you may read different types of literature, different types of fiction or non-fiction. Just whenever you're reading it, try to read it effectively and try to understand the meaning in terms of the context of whatever literature you are reading. Now, to summarize the whole thing regarding comprehension, there are these things I want you to remember whenever you're trying to answer the question. Number 1, remember to read the text effectively and understand the context of the comprehension. Number 2, use call to action words in your answer, like to convince or to raise awareness, etc. Number 3, read the title of the comprehension. Oftentimes, the whole context and the whole meaning and the whole purpose, whole message of the comprehension itself is hinted in the title itself. Number 4, understand what the question is about. Is it inferential or is it direct question? If it is a direct question, you can simply rephrase a section of the passage in your answer. Number 5, if the question is inferential, well, take your time to read the passage twice or thrice or a few more times to actually understand what the meaning or what the context or what the actual message of the passage is before answering your question. Now, with the comprehension part out of the way, we can actually focus on planning and writing the essay itself. Now, don't pick an essay if you're not good at the topic. Don't pick a descriptive essay if you're not good at descriptions. Choose your essay the way you can answer them the best way. Keep in mind what the marks are awarded based on. Now, in terms of essay writing, the marks are awarded based on accuracy of language in terms of structure of the sentence, spelling, and grammar. appropriate use of varied vocabulary, clarity of expression and organization, relevance of content, finally, appropriateness of register and tone. When you read the question, identify the common keywords and topics that, for example, that are very common. For example, economy or education, environment, and family issues. All of these topics can be selected and then make a mind map to link them up with the question topic. A lot of the students don't plan what they're going to write. So in the end, they end up with a disorganized essay, which confuses the examiner or the marker on what the topic is all about. The most important tip here is that you plan the essay and write down 3 or 4 points in the draft. And then when you're actually going to write the essay, use those 3 or 4 points and expand on them. Make sure your conclusion is impactful, because the conclusion is literally the last thing the reader or the examiner is going to read before awarding you the marks. So this is the most impactful portion of your essay, whether you realize this or not. That is everything for the essay writing tips. And now for the summary writing tips, the student should get full marks for just writing down the main points of whatever the summary is he's supposed to be writing about. And there are some important tips on the writing style of the summary. Number 1, cover all the facts. And in this covering of all the facts, leave out the examples, leave out the interpretations in your summary. Underline the main points of the comprehension so that whenever you are writing the summary, you can keep a track of whatever is important. The most important tip is to use your own words. Whenever you are summarizing something, you have to rephrase or you have to use different words than that has been used in the original text. Use transition words in your writing such as moreover, furthermore, however, in the meantime, etc. When you're done, read it again to prevent any spelling mistakes or grammatical mistakes. Use connective words as well, such as however or on the other hand. These type of words would make your text look much richer. And one last thing to keep in mind is avoid repetitions. Repeating the same text or the same line or the same words might affect your grades of that particular text. So these are all the tips and tricks for O-Level English examination writing, and I hope you can use them in your exams and get good grades. These tips were personally written by our own English teacher, and if you need any other suggestions, we can also help you out with them. Definitely follow us for more. Thank you.